Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. That means it's time to draw. With me, Kyle Webster. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope that you have with you something to draw with. A pencil or a pen or a marker or a crayon, a katana sword, or maybe even some nunchucks. Even nunchucks at the end, you can just dip them in a nice big pool of mud, and you can draw all over your bedroom wall. It doesn't matter to me. You can draw these things with whatever you like, but if you get in trouble, it's not my fault. Now, I hope you're all having a good week so far. It's Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week, okay? But it could be any day of the week, couldn't it, these days? Because as my brother said, every day is Blur's Day. So here we are. Now, drawing is something that makes us feel better, so that's good. We can do some of that. Hey, you've been reading the news lately? I heard about this crazy situation where a killer whale was arrested for a diamond robbery. Apparently, he was the one who orchestrated the whole heist. Why don't we do some drawing? Okay, let's get to it. Now, to do these drawings, you have to be able to do three simple things, gang, remember? And if you've been here before, you know that those are straight lines, okay, zigzags, or curvilinear lines. Okay, they could be S curves, they could be C curves, whatever. They could be long, they could be short. You get the idea. You get the picture, no pun intended. We're about to make a picture right now. And I'll say hi to some folks in the chat before we get going. Get your materials together. Let's see, we have Sam and RB and Afroha and Jason and Golden and Ruth and Alice and Seth and gosh, all kinds of nice folks hanging out with me today. Isn't that nice? Let's get busy with some drawing. Are you ready? Here we go now. To start the drawing today, okay, we're just going to do a straight line, just like this. Boop. All right. Not too long, not too short. Look at it. It's just there. If you're drawing this on a piece of paper, I would say it's going to be about a centimeter long, somewhere in that vicinity. Okay, just to give you an idea. Half an inch, thereabouts, maybe a little bigger, maybe a little smaller. These are your drawings. However you make them, they're going to look fine, so don't sweat it, okay? Besides, sweat's pretty stinky. Now, we're going to move up at an angle. What kind of angle, you might ask? All right, well, I want you to picture a clock. We're going to move at about 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, okay? Something like that. See that? It's about a 1 o'clock. Maybe you do it like a little less. Maybe you do it a little more. Don't sweat it. Like I just said, it's not a big deal, okay? The length of that line should be roughly the same as the first line we drew, okay? But I'm going to draw mine a little longer. Doesn't matter. A little longer. Maybe make yours a little longer too. You can always make things longer. Harder to make them shorter, unless you have an eraser. But anyway. Alrighty, moving on. We are now going to come down here, and we're going to draw another line. We're going to interrupt this line here. We're going to catch it off there. We're going to go straight this way. And it's going to be a slight angle, very slight angle. Almost horizontal, but not quite. Okay, check it out. I'm going to start about here and come down about there. Now, we all love parallel lines, so why don't we do that again? Bam. Just do it again. And then we'll just connect. Boop. Sorry about that. There we go. Connect that. Connect this. So we have a nice parallelogram right there, tipping at an angle. Okie dokie. Now, we are going to draw a very long line. We can always make it longer later, okay? But for now, we're just going to take this line. We're going to drop straight on down to about here. Make yourself a little target if you want, okay? Or just draw. You want to use a ruler? Go for it. If it's perfectly straight, great, good for you. If not, totally doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one bit. Not one iota. Okay, what is an iota? What kind of unit of measurement is an iota? I was wondered that. People always say it doesn't matter one iota. I say, what the heck is an iota? I don't know. All right, moving on. You came here for the conversation, right? All right, we're going to now cut this off right here. We're going to cut this off. And this is going to be another funky angle, okay? Not quite horizontal, but this time tipping up to the left. Tipping up to the left. So here we go. We're going up this way. Bada, 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 bada. Okay? How long is it? Don't worry. You can always extend it. Okay? If it's too long, you can erase it or just leave it long, because this part of the drawing can be whatever you want. You'll find out what I mean here in a second. Now, I want you to look at the length of this line. I want you to look at the space that we have from here to here, from here to here, okay? See how this is longer in this part? All right. Check out your drawing. Did you make this longer than this little section here? See this? This line is not in the center, is it? Just check on that for a moment. And if you didn't, go ahead and make that longer. I want you to look at the length of that line. I want you to imagine now we're taking the length of that and we're going to transfer it over here from here to here. Okay? We're transferring it. And we're going to make it just slightly longer, slightly wider than this. But this is kind of a good place to start. I want you to look at that and say, yeah, that's about from here to here. Okay, I'm going to make it slightly wider. And remember this line right here? Well, we're going to do a very similar one. Same angle, slightly shorter. Same angle, slightly shorter. See that? Same angle, slightly shorter. And then we're going to pop out this way. Bam, just like that. Okay. Down and out. Okay. And here comes something fun, a zigzag. We love zigzags. Imagine I'm taking this line and I'm continuing it here. I'm actually going to draw, but I'm going to stop about here and I'm going to zigzag like this. Zigzag. It's like a sideways W. W. Okay? Zigzag. Okay. Interesting. And how about a letter L? We're going to stick a letter L right here. Okay, I'm going to come in from this a little bit and L, just like that. Another kind of zigzag, but just a little L, kind of at an angle. It's like that L is slanted a little bit. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. Now here I'm going to do a C curve. I'm going to go C curve, just like that. Can you see what we drew there? What's that looking like to you all? What's that looking like? Do a little C curve right there. Or not. You could do a straight line too if you want. I don't care. It's your drawing. Up to you. But we just made a face. Now, see where this L is placed, okay? It's like kind of right here, just at where the nose kind of begins. I'm going to move back this way. Pretend that this is just swooping up this way. It's swooping up this way. And then I do another little C, but it's backwards. And that's where we place my ear. Okay, bam. Because ears don't sit on the cheek, right? They sit behind the jaw. Good thing to remember. Do a little line here. Bam, just like that. That's a short one. Easy peasy. We like that line. It's a good line. One of the best lines I've ever drawn, I think. All right. Now, here, we're going to do another C curve, but it's a shallow one. See that? Shallow C curve. And then we're going to draw down to about here, a straight line like that. And we're going to break it up. We're going to go break, okay, and break, because this is a sleeve that is going to be bent. It's going to be crunched up in there. The arm is bent, so the sleeve is bent. Then we're going to move up at an angle again. This is not going to be horizontal. We're going to go up this way. Okay. And then we're going to go uno and bring it back here. Dos. Okay. Uno, dos. How far back? Well, past our little break right here. Past our break. And then just connect it up this way. Zing, 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 zing. Like that. Okay. Very nice. Now from here, I'm just going to curve on down to right where this forearm starts. Just curve on down that way. All right. Pass through, curve on down some more, and just connect this right here. You can curve that line. It could be straight. Does not matter. Won't make any difference. Not one bit. Not one iota, as they say. All right. I've heard that before somewhere. Okay. Now from here, we're going to come straight out just like that. All right. And now we're going to do something fancy. We're going to do an S curve. It's going to go S curve. And we want to make sure that our S curve stops further out from where this sleeve is. All right. So our S curve has to come out to at least about here. If you want to give yourself a target, you can do that. You can give yourself a little target like that. It's always fine to do targets. So S curve. See that? S curve. All right, now that's good because we've done that. We can now set ourselves up for success with this hand. We're going to angle up and across, okay? And then we're just going to go 1, 2, 3. See how those are stacked? Okay, and then bam, right back, I overshot that, right back into the sleeve like that. Aha, I wonder what we're drawing. Maybe now you all can see that and you can tell me, because I think you all figured this out. We're gonna draw this straight down now, straight on down it goes, and see what happens? Connects there with the hand. Now it doesn't have to connect right at that point where there's a break. Don't you sweat that one bit, not important. As long as it's somewhere in there, okay? It could be here, it could be there. That's why we drew that S-curve out a little farther, so we knew that we would have room for it to fall behind the hand. See how clever we were? All right, now here I'm just gonna extend this a little bit, just like that, color that in, just color it in, okay? Leave a little gap and follow that same S-curve up, but then make it slightly wider right there, slightly wider, okay? And then we're gonna pull that down. Pull it down, stop for a moment, okay? Because here's where we get in some fancy business. We're gonna put a little circle there, all right? And we're gonna put a little line right there. And we're gonna put like another circle right there. We're gonna come on down a little ways. We're gonna put some lines here, okay? And part of a bump like that. You design this similar way, it doesn't matter, okay? We're just suggesting a saxophone here. Now up here, I'm gonna follow this curve starting from here. I'm gonna follow it like that, follow it, and pop it back. Okay, that's just gonna be our little octave key for the saxophone. That's our octave key. All right, now coming back here, we're gonna give this fella a turtleneck, because that's jazzy. Turtleneck. See that? Across and down. A little turtleneck coming out of that coat. Neato. We're almost there, gang. We're almost there. We're dropping this down. Follow through. Drop it down. Come down to about there. And then interrupt it. Just like that. See that interruption? That, if we extend it, is going to be the thumb and hand of the right arm. Come down. And there's the coat. Okay? Give yourself a little break. A little break. So there's room for that thumb. Come down some more. Okay? And then you can continue that hand just like that. It's just passing behind the saxophone. Wow, you're learning all kinds of things here. Now, this is gonna be slightly wider than here. We're gonna come down again. We're coming down, and we get to about here where this is, right? And that's where we make our turn. Just make yourself a letter U. A little letter U like that. Then come up some more this way. Letter U and up. And now we do a C curve. See that? So, letter U up, shallow C. See where this comes up? It comes almost up to this hand, okay? Now, shallow C the other way. So it's C and C. Not CNC Music Factory, don't get any ideas. Give yourself a little space here. We're going to do an angle this way, okay? Kablam. How long is that line? Okay, give it something to compare to. Why don't we look at this right here? This collar. Maybe it's about the same as that, right? It's always good to do comparative measuring. And then we're gonna go a little C curve this way. Okay, it's gonna come this way and down. Think about what's happening here. Give yourself some space. And this way. And see, we're gonna pick up that angle there. Now we know we have to connect this. So we're gonna connect all the while paying attention to the widths there. Trying to keep those widths looking good. Okay, if you have to erase and do that again, no big whoop. Put a couple of lines right there. Put a couple of lines right there, right? We're just adding, maybe not in there, sorry, some details to our saxophone. Now, look, we're not drawing the whole body. Don't worry about it. We just go angle and straight. And that suggests the legs. And we come up here, and it's time to finish out that hat. And all you have to do is follow the same angle here. Okay, follow this same angle. Make that a little shorter. And then connect them. Bam. How's that looking? And then, little C curve. And now you do whatever you want. You want to give this person hair? Fine. You want to give them a ponytail? Fine. You want to add a little other jazz setting, little jazz club, and he's playing on the street corner. Who knows? Doesn't matter. You can make this whatever you want. You want to decorate that coat. You want to add some details to the coat. Okay, up to you. This is a cool drawing. Not the typical kind of thing we do, but really fun to do something fancy like this. A little jazz saxophone player. Okay, I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. That's fun. Now, we are going to... Just switching this out here. We're going to go to a Who Made That? Now, if you've done this before with me, you know that this is where I show you, I reveal part of a piece of art. Let me zoom in on that so you can see that. I reveal part of a piece of art and you have to tell me who made that, okay? And then I will reveal who made that. Now, this is very different from what we usually do. We usually talk about, you know, sort of the better known artists that are in quote unquote fine art, you know, famous painters from back in the day or even painters of today. But this one is very different. This comes from the world of concept art, where you will find some of the most incredible artists today, some of the best in the biz. Okay? Alrighty. Now, let's see what we got here. He's drawing like there's a hotkey for drawing perfect curves. Well, I'm not. I'm a professional artist. By golly. I know how to draw curves. Been practicing forever. Alright, let's see. Who is this person? That guy that does movie posters, said Golden Rose. Well, he may have done a couple posters in his lifetime, but it is not Drew Struzan, if you're thinking of Drew Struzan. Let's see. R.W. something. No. Well, because we don't want to run out of time today, I am going to reveal it right now. It is our friend Ralph McQuarrie. Ralph McQuarrie. And he's no longer with us, but he had a good long life doing incredible concept art all the way up to the end. And he's from the United States. And look at this. His career included work on the original Star Wars trilogy. You may have heard of Star Wars. The original Battlestar Galactica television series. Probably many of you are too young to remember that show. And the film E.T. the Extraterrestrial, among many, many other things. But look at this. Now, this is interesting. So much of what you see in a movie is painted beforehand. It's drawn, it's designed before they ever get the cast involved, get the filming involved, get the cameras rolling. And that's what Ralph McQuarrie did so well. This scene, if you look at it, if you're familiar with Empire Strikes Back, is almost identical to what happened in the movie. And yet this was painted as a concept for what it would look like. And it's just fantastic. Now, check this out, though. He also did art for after they'd really decided how things were going to go in the film and they had the plot all set up and they understood what it was going to look like. But still, you know, why not have some paintings done just to really celebrate these moments? And listen, you cannot be a concept artist if you don't know how to paint. Look at the smoke and the flames and the fire right there from this exploding ship. Incredible. Look at the lighting. Look at the lighting scheme and understanding the shadows. Look at the perspective. Look at the drama. Look at the angle that is chosen here for this painting. These are truly great artists. Concept artists are no joke, folks. They are no joke. And Ralph McQuarrie, one of the greatest. Look him up and celebrate and enjoy his work because it is phenomenal. So that was Who Made That for today. Well, it's now time for the animal and activity, where you suggest to me an animal doing something funny, something bizarre, weird, unexpected, whatever you want. And I will draw it for you. So that is your job. You got to suggest a funny, interesting... Oh, hang on a minute. While you're thinking about an animal, we have to do something. This is time now for Appreciation Station. Holy cow, I almost forgot. And check it out. Today, we are appreciating Seth. And Seth, I want to thank you because you may not remember this. This is years ago. It was that one time after that crazy sandstorm in the desert, and you and I met up. We were totally lost. And if it wasn't for your incredible sand sculpting talent, where you built us that 2-bedroom house out of sand, incredible. We wouldn't have been able to survive that whole month while we waited for somebody to rescue us. And I remember you also made a refrigerator out of some desert plants and rocks. I don't even know how you did that. But congratulations to you for being a genius out there, saving our lives. Thank you. Very grateful. And now it's back to drawing. Let's look at your suggestions. Let's see what we got here. A platypus sliding, a skunk on a treadmill, a sheep using a fencing épée. That's funny. I like the sheep. I like the skunk. I gotta decide between those two. Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna go for the sheep because I don't think we've ever done a fencing animal. Plus, I don't draw a lot of sheep, and they're funny to look at. So let's grab a light color. Okay, grab my light blue, and I'm gonna sketch away. We're gonna have our sheep fencing. He's going to be lunging, of course. Got to be lunging. So let's get that leg out. Okay. Little sheep leg. Lunging forward with that sword. Little sheep tail there. Anybody ever see the Shaun the Sheep movies? They are so cute. They are so funny. If you've not seen them, do yourself a favor. I don't care how old you are. If you think they're for little kids, you're wrong. Just watch them. They are really funny for all ages. I mean, anything Aardman Animation does is superb, but really, those Shaun the Sheep movies are quite funny. Quite funny. That a little shorter up there. Ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. Get that fencing. Épée. Like so. And I think that looks pretty good. Get that angle's just slightly different there. Okay, and we will knock that back a little bit, draw a layer on top of it for our art, and let's see how that goes. There we go. Fencing sheep. You guys come up with some pretty funny stuff, I must say. I must say. This is a fun one. This is a fun one. And like I said, I don't remember drawing any sheep on this show before. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you know, those of you who've been watching from the beginning, maybe you remember better than I do. But this really is a fun one. The only thing about sheep, though, gosh, got to get all these bumpy, lumpy bits of wool. It's kind of hard to make those, to design those. All right, let's get that arm out there. And then around we go. And out we go with that fencing sword. Look at that lunge. It's real lunge. Going for it. You know, you wouldn't see the tail. Now that I think from this angle, the tail would be, you wouldn't see it. Don't draw stuff you can't see. Doesn't make any sense. Come on, Kyle. Boy. I don't know if I should be hosting this show if I'm making those kinds of mistakes. Well, there it is. Action, excitement, danger, violence. Didn't expect to see that in the show today. We have a musician. We have a lunging, fencing sheep. And we talked about our good pal, Ralph McQuarrie, the incredible concept artist, Star Wars, E.T., other films. I hope your saxophone player turned out well. You can always hit me up on Twitter and ask me questions about the show or make suggestions for some drawings we could do in the future. Always happy to take suggestions, okay? In the meantime, I would like to please invite you all to go ahead and invite some friends of yours to watch the show. If you know any young people, kids, ages, I'd say 5 or 6 and up, who are just really interested in drawing or need a little creative activity, I like to keep this show fun for all ages and hopefully accessible for all ages. Most of the drawings we do for the You Draw It are meant to be simple enough for them to follow along, and that's the idea. But they're all archived. If you need to go slower, you can watch them on YouTube. Anyway, I want to say thanks for hanging out. Everybody take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember to be kind, and I'll say ciao for now.